All right, I think now is probably a good time to get started. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining the webinar on Flowcode for health and wellness organizations. My name's Christy. I'm the sales strategy and operations lead here at Flowcode. If you're joining this webinar, you're likely a current customer of ours, or perhaps you're a past customer who needed a QR code for maybe a short-term contactless solution, and you're looking to understand other ways that you can be using the account that you already have, or maybe you're a potential customer a little confused about QR technology and how it can help your business. Either way, you're at the right place, and we're here to help you guys and hopefully answer any questions that you might have. I'm joined today by my colleagues, Corinne and Georgette. Both are sales development leads here at Flowcode. We also have a creator co-host with us today, Maria Osciello. She's the Director of Marketing and Communications at Essen Healthcare in New York, and she's going to weigh in on her experience with Flowcode in the health and wellness industry. Thank you for joining us today, Maria. It's so great to have you.
Awesome. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I appreciate the invite, Flowcode. I'm excited to talk to you guys about how we're utilizing our Flowcodes currently. But just to give you a quick background, Essen Healthcare is one of the largest privately held multi-specialty groups in New York City. We have over 40 physical offices where we do urgent care, primary care, and 25 plus specialties. So that's cardiology, behavioral health, dermatology, and et cetera. We are also one of the largest house call providers in New York State as well. So that's just a quick background about Essen Healthcare.
Awesome. And Maria, how did you find Flowcode?
So I found Flowcode at the time. I think I just did a quick Google search about QR codes in general. Did some research here and there, and I just like that you guys were very colorful. So you're not that simple black box that looks like everyone else. And not only just adding in the logo, because I know a lot of locations do that, but it really was able to kind of customize it to look and feel like the Essen brand.
Awesome. Yeah, we get that a lot. I think our QR codes definitely stand out from the regular black and white ink spots that you're used to seeing. Just quickly, what we're going to go over and cover today. One is just some of the current challenges that you might be facing if you're in the health and wellness industry. Two, our solution as Flowcode, as well as our full suite of products that we offer outside of just a QR code. And then our features, some of our unique features that we offer with our Flowcode Pro for our Flowcode Pro customers. And at the end, we'll save some time for some Q&A. So just a reminder to the audience, please enter all your questions into the Q&A box, not the chat box at the bottom. We'll take the last 15 or so minutes to hopefully answer all of your questions. But let's get started, and I'll send it over to you, Corinne.
All right. Thank you, Christy. So for the health and wellness vertical, we decided to focus on three main challenges that we thought would be helpful to address and show how you can leverage Flowcode. The first challenge that we thought of was how can we manage and better educate customers/patients? The second one would be how can I better measure marketing attribution? And the third one would be how can we provide a seamless customer experience? So over the course of the next 40 minutes or so, we will go over how Flowcode can help you address these and how you can make your experience for your customers and patients the best it can be.
Awesome. Thanks, Corinne. So I'll kind of introduce Flowcode, who we are. Also, thanks again, everyone, for joining. Super excited to have you all here. So Flowcode, what we do, we connect the real world to the digital world. You'll hear us talk a lot about bridging that offline experience and bringing it to the online kind of omni-channel experience for your users. So some fun statistics here, 65% of the economy is still offline. What that really means is, you're walking on the street, you see an ad, you can't really engage with that ad. So kind of enter Flowcode. Now that user can kind of experience what's really on the other side of that ad and kind of connect your users omni-channel from your social media, from the time they're in person, online, and of course, tracking everything with data. And so one other piece of data here is 88% of our marketers say that collecting first-party data is a priority for them, and we'll go in a few more details later on how you can actually achieve that with FlowPage and our other suite of services. And so what really differentiates us, Flowcode, from standard QR codes? So Maria put it perfectly. I think one of the most obvious examples is really the beautiful design that you see right on the screen. We actually have our in-house designers who can beautifully create custom codes for you. And you also have the flexibility as a self-service user in the platform to add your logo and really have our codes stand out and match your branding. Additionally, all of our codes are dynamic. You can link to unlimited scan destinations. They can be changed at any time. So there's no need to kind of reprint your codes and redistribute. Also, one major piece here is the data piece. So really, what you couldn't really do before is understand your customer when you were putting out those offline ads and having those offline experiences. So the data piece that Flowcode offers really kind of bridges that gap. And then just to kind of wrap it up, privacy, we are the most privacy compliant code out there. We're GDPR and CCPA compliant, adding additional comfort to you and to our users that your data and privacy is really important to us. And managed service, you'll always have us on the phone. Any issues you experience, we're more than a platform. We want to be a trusted partner for you. And again, patent protection, quality assurance, and flow page, which we'll go into in a few. Awesome. So again, that offline to online, O2O tech platform, this kind of just shows you overall what our suite looks like. So again, Flowcode, next generation QR, best in class design, and then additionally in our platform, kind of linking that to our flow page, that mobile first landing page where you can host multiple links on one page, really bringing your users to one centralized experience. And then of course, tying that all together with data and analytics. So our proprietary data and our audience insights, we're never ever collecting personally identifiable information from the point of scan. We're really just gathering daily connection counts, scans by time of day of the week, and also understanding what device your users are scanning from. And then educating your community, using FlowPage. I think today when we think about health and wellness, there is so much information out there and we're all conscious of our health. I know I've learned an exponential amount in the last 2 years. So this is really a great way to kind of aggregate all of that information onto one page. I know a lot of our users, or any user can really get overwhelmed when landing on a website. So when you're thinking about if you have a gym facility, if you have an urgent care like SN Health in Maria's case, you can host your facility locations on here, any services you provide, patient resources, the opportunities are really endless. And of course, this can link back to a code or to a unique URL, where you can promote it across all different social media platforms. And I'll pass it on to my colleague, Corinne.
Thank you, Georgette. So one question that comes up often is how QR codes or flow codes can be used in a post-pandemic world. So we have a few data points here that we wanted to point out. One, widespread adoption with the pandemic. 73% of US customers have scanned a QR code in the last 30 days. So with coronavirus, a lot of people have been made aware of what QR codes are and have experience with them and have scanned them within the last 30 days. So you're going to get a lot of engagement with them because people know what they are. They're used to seeing them now. And that's really been springboarded by the pandemic. 2, QR codes power Asia's economy. So 70% of transactions in China and Singapore are made through QR codes. And that's one thing that our CEO, Tim Armstrong, found when he traveled over to Asia. They are such a forward-thinking market and really set the trend for more Western markets. So what you're seeing over there really translates to how the US will be in the future. And we're seeing a boom in that now in today's economy. And then 3, iOS and Android updates. So in 2017, Apple's iOS 11 update allowed consumers to scan directly from their phone's camera without needing a third-party app. And Android follows shortly after. So this is one of the beautiful things about flow codes in general is that no one needs to download any additional technology. Everyone carries around their phone all the time. So you can use the camera, scan it directly. And this brings us to the 4th point, which is attention to intention. So you can't accidentally scan a flow code Flowcode scanners are the most powerful hand raisers because they are actively scanning. They want to see what the Flowcode will bring them to. They want to engage with the brand that they're scanning, and this will help you utilize that because you have them with their phone and they're going to wherever you want them to scan to. So really the power's up to you.
I love that last one, Corinne, because it's like a lot of the brands that we work with who spend a ton of money on marketing, spend a ton of money on like TV commercials or out of home, the analytics that they're getting from the scan of a Flowcode, that's, like you just said, the most intention that you can get. It's not just kind of your eyes, passing over a commercial or a billboard. If you're scanning, you really are showing true intent. So it's such like an important analytic.
Yeah, I know. I've been on the subway a few times now and I've seen ads all over the place, and some of them do have QR codes, but then some of them don't. And it's really one of the easiest ways to grab people's attention and really engage them, like Georgette said, offline to online, really bridge that gap between the two, because especially if you're having something so seamless and it really doesn't put a bridge or a barrier in between them, which is awesome. So this brings us to our next point where there's nowhere you can't put a Flowcode. As you can see here, there are so many opportunities to utilize it. People use it for hiring. They use it for to just put on any sort of information, and you can do it on TV, any sort of print. We have a print store as well that you can utilize. And really, like I said before, the possibilities are endless.
Great. So back to some of the challenges that you had brought up earlier, Corinne, and I want to just share some use cases that are directly related to the health and wellness industry and how we can kind of help solve those problems with the Flowcode and Flowpage solution. And the first one is customer engagement and education. A few obvious ones here, but I think when people think of QR codes, automatically I think, okay, I can have my QR code go to a website. What people don't realize is that you can actually have a QR code or a Flowcode scanned to any digital destination. So you can have it go open up to a video or an audio file or, a PDF that you might have. You can have it open up right to a phone call, right to a text message, obviously any social media site. You can have a Flowcode scan to connect to your Wi-Fi in your office or your gym. So those are some things that people don't always think about when they think about QR codes or Flowcode. So you can really connect your audience to online resources, helpful videos, and instructions. So, one of the images here we have as an example, if you're in a gym and you want to show some workout routines, or maybe you want to show someone how to properly use a machine, you can put a Flowcode up in your gym, have it scan right to the video to give them more information. If you are working in a med spa, let's say, and you want to give instruction to someone who's going home who just maybe got a facial, about what their aftercare routine can be. Again, giving them a Flowcode that would be able to open up to a video or just maybe even like a PDF of instructions so they don't lose that paper that you give them as they're leaving. All really easy ways to use Flowcode in a way that really helps customer education. You can also share basic information about your business, hours of operation, your address, phone number, your email address. I know personally, if I'm Googling a location, I'm constantly getting the wrong information in terms of like hours of operation or things like that. This really gives the business the control back. In addition, if I'm Googling a location like SN Health, obviously Google is going to give those first few spots to Maria's competitors. So being able to control so that someone who's looking for the hours of operation of SN Health now aren't ending up going to some other urgent care, that's super important to somebody like her. And you can also offer a really easy way to get your customers to write reviews. Building a positive reputation for your business is super important. I know me personally, I'm always going to Yelp to see, okay, who else went to this med spa, this gym, this salon, this urgent care, this doctor, this chiropractor. You want to see those online reviews. So it's really important that you build that. So being able to automatically point your customers to a way to give an easy review quickly and right at that point of service where they're still feeling good about it is a great and easy way to be able to engage your customers. On that note, Maria, how does Essen Health use Flowcode to better educate and engage with their customers?
So we use it in several different ways. As I might have mentioned earlier, we have over 40 actual practices within the Bronx. Half of those practices are kind of a one-stop shop. So you are able to go to see an urgent care provider, do a primary care visit, or we have many specialists on site. But a lot of the times you have to go to another location if you need a cardiologist that might not be at your primary care site. So we're able to use these codes, have people scan them, and then they can find out where we offer cardiology throughout the Bronx, where we offer dermatology throughout the Bronx. It might not be at their specific location, but they could see at all the locations that we have them. So I know we use it a lot to inform people of all the different specialties that we have, the many different locations that we have, as well as operating hours and holiday schedules. I know just recently we had some holiday schedules. Our urgent cares, half of our urgent cares are open 7 days a week, no matter what, but then the other half are closed on the holidays. So that gets very confusing. It can get complicated to update 30 different platforms. We put these QR codes up in our offices a few days before the holiday so that they know and they could scan to find the location that they can go to.
Super helpful. I know even just like this past Monday being Martin Luther King Jr. Day, I went on Google to find out hours of operation for a few businesses, and all this said the same thing. Like these hours might change based on this holiday. So it's like getting that right information and having the business be in control is super important. 2 is the customer experience. How can you better improve the customer experience? So 1, offering an easy, safe, and fast way to get your customers checked in to avoid long wait times and crowded waiting rooms. I'm sure a lot of us dealt with this recently, having just gone through this like 3rd, 4th, 5th wave, whatever we're in of COVID, going to urgent cares and doctors' offices. The last thing you want to deal with is a long line where you're close to a lot of people and you have no idea like what the end is in sight. Just to get up to the desk, just to take home, or take with you a piece of paper that you have to fill out, give back. So being able to offer a code where you can check in right there on your own device, so you're not touching one of like the 3 tablets that are usually available in a waiting room, is such a great way to improve the customer experience. You're doing it on your phone. You're not having to wait in the line. You're automatically put into a digital queue, and because of that, now that location can also let you know what the expected wait time is. So you don't have to just sit in the line out in the cold. You can go get a coffee next door or whatever. It's such a better customer experience. It's also an easier way to book appointments or sessions. If you have something right at your front desk or something that you can send someone home with, so they don't have to then rely on Google, where again, you're up against your competitors that Google's giving that space to, but you can automatically book an appointment right within their platform. Super quick, super easy, and you know that you're being able to keep your customers. It also provides a seamless way to connect your customers or patients to test results, appointment summaries, workout results, anything after the fact that you might want to then deliver back to the customer without having to, maybe you can save a ton of money on paper by not having to give them a packet of paper at the end of, an appointment or a workout. You're able to deliver all of this very seamlessly. And again, just maybe on like a postcard, a QR code, scan this, all of your results or information will be there. So Maria, can you talk about the different ways that Flowcode has helped you improve the customer experience at your locations?
Well, I mean, you guys have been honestly a lifesaver just within the last few weeks. So we have 20 urgent cares. They're predominantly in the South Bronx. Our wait times for COVID testing or vaccines from December 1st till about this past Monday were, anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. And then, you know, that was just around the corner, you're waiting, you're not checked in. And then that also takes into consideration, our offices are relatively small. Not everyone can fit inside these offices. And then you flow those people inside, everyone's touching a kiosk. That's not what we want. We have one person, you know, a maintenance person cleaning things off, but by the time people are so impatient, they're already touching things. And that's kind of like, no, no, no. We want to keep everyone clean and clear of anything COVID. So the best thing about the QR codes of these last, or the flow codes of these last few weeks, was we were able to kind of hand out printed papers and or post them up, post posters on the windows of our facility. Scan here, check in online. It decreased our wait time significantly and also just gave people a better sense of, okay, I might be here for a while, or, you know, they have a flow to what they're doing. You know, we couldn't do much about 2-hour lines no matter where you went, but that did change some of our facilities from 3 hours to about 1.5 to 2 hours because people were already checked in. We had all their information. They didn't have to wait to come into the facility before checking in, then to see the provider. So that's been something great for us. Also, once you get tested, we will give you a postcard with a flow code on it again, but 15 minutes, scan here, check your results online. Or,
Right.
you know, PCR test, scan here, in 2 days, your results will be up. So it was a lot easier way for people to go to our sites, check out, you know, get to our website. A lot of times people, what am I entering? SN Healthcare, SN Health. So the QR codes that we've utilized have helped us a lot, especially within the COVID surge.
Awesome. Awesome. And really help manage expectations, which is great.
Yeah.
And then not even, you know, outside of a lot of this in-person stuff that we're talking about, as it pertains to customer experience and customer education and engagement, I also just want to touch on the whole packaging of it all. So if you have a product that's in a package, if you are offering a product that maybe you ship to your customers, having a code that's able to, again, scan to, you know, video instructions or a PDF of ingredients, which is super important to a lot of businesses. Or again, a code to scan to a review. All this stuff, if it's something that's not like an in-person experience, is also a great way to utilize Flowcode.
We've also produced them on magnets, which people have loved. So you have a magnet, you take it home, it's always on your fridge, scan to book your next appointment, which we've gotten great reviews about.
Love that. Love that. And lastly is marketing attribution. And this is arguably one of the more important ways to use Flowcode, in my opinion. So tracking marketing attribution by adding a unique Flowcode to each of your marketing materials is, to me, like the biggest hack in a way of like finding out where to spend your marketing dollars. So if you are, I'll use the med spa again as an example. If you're a med spa and you're doing a newspaper ad, a magazine ad, and maybe an at-home mailer, by putting a unique code on the mailer versus the newspaper ad versus the magazine ad, and then going into your analytics on flowcode.com to see which one of those ended up getting you the most amount of scans, thus the most amount of engagement, can really then lend to important insights into how you're spending your marketing budget moving forward. So if I know that the newspaper ad was actually the least expensive and my postcard mailer was the most expensive, but I ended up getting the most amount of scans from this newspaper ad, I know next quarter I'm going to spend way more in more newspapers because I know that that's maybe where I'm meeting my customer. So I think that's such a great way to utilize Flowcode and the ability to have unlimited flow codes with a Flowcode Pro account, just putting different codes on everything so you're able to measure. Outside of even just understanding, okay, so like the newspaper did better than the magazine, if you're testing different calls to action or even different promos, for instance, like this one you can save half on your next visit, this one we say save 25% on your next service, understanding which one of those then led to the most engagement. Again, great insights to learn, and such a great hack by putting a flow code on everything. You can also drive traffic to your website or your digital content. Again, it's kind of like if someone goes to just your website, then it's kind of like a choose their own adventure type of thing. If you want them to go right to your services page, talk about a specific service, that's such a great way to use Flowcode as well. It's a direct line to where you want to put that customer versus having them choose their own adventure. And then as Georgette had mentioned earlier with Flowpage, collecting contact information from leads who have already shown intent by using Flowpage is another great way to be able to boost up your CRM. So as you can see here is an example of how Essen Healthcare is using their Flowpage. And you'll see a screenshot to the right here where you're able to stay in touch and someone can enter their information. Again, with Flowcode, we don't get any PII information, no personally identifiable information from a scan. That's what makes us the most privacy compliant QR code out there. Someone needs to tell you, okay, I want to give you my information. On Flowpage, they can do that. And we have integrations to go right into your own CRM system from there, which is amazing. So Maria, I know that you have a pro account, which means that you have access to unlimited codes. How are you using that feature to help your business and understand your marketing attribution?
So we love this. We love that we have unlimited codes. I love it because I get to see great analytics from it. My team probably not so much because they're making 40 different codes, but it is a great tool. One of the big things, again, just relaying it to COVID, is we were able to see the sites that were getting a lot more scans, had a lot more people were going there for testing. That actually alerted us, you know, this one facility is just being slammed. Why don't we also send out a mobile unit? So we'll actually put out mobile units to do testing just a block away, just to break up some of that, some of those people coming in. So then shorter wait times at our facility and much shorter wait times if you just walked up to get a rapid or PCR test at our mobile unit. So we use that, kind of helped us a lot there. Also, we did go through kind of a very large rebrand this year. When I came on board, there's kind of 4 different logos with the same name. I'm sure a lot of people on this call are probably like, that's insane. And that's what I thought. But that's one of the big things. We went through a rebrand. You guys immediately, I want to say within a 48-hour turnaround, once we had our new logo, you were able to update our QR codes to reflect that new logo, even switched it up a bit. I don't know, it's very little here, but if you look at it, it's super cute. It has like cardio hearts, a stethoscope, and clipboard. So very medical look and feel to it. And then just our overall colors are reflected. I would say, you know, that is probably to answer all your questions.
Yep.
Awesome.
Christy, I do want to jump in here for a second because I was talking to a creator recently who was having multiple ads in one magazine, and I suggested doing different unique codes for each one, just so you could see, again, like within the same magazine, the same audience, if different placements are getting different scans. So again, even there, you can say what would be the most effective use of space if I am willing to pay for this more expensive format.
Yep, absolutely. Great hack. Okay, going into our features, I'm going to pass it over to Georgette. A lot of the features that we just spoke about with Maria is with a Flowcode Pro account. So some of you guys might have the free accounts, some of you guys might have pro accounts. Some of these features are what comes with our pro accounts, which right now is $10 a month or $95 for the year.
Awesome. Thank you, Christy. So diving into the meat and potatoes of Flowcode, a lot of really exciting features coming along and always rolling out new features as the quarters go on. So the first feature here included with Pro is what we call Smart Rules. So this is where you can actually redirect a single Flowcode to multiple destinations. So you might be wondering, for health and wellness, well, why on earth would I want to do this? So a good example would be, let's say you have a Flowcode in a gym, and your customers, they're working out and someone is interested in getting a personal trainer, but you know that your trainers are only available and on site between Monday through Fridays, but you don't have the time nor the resources to be switching out that code Monday through Friday, and then again on the weekends when your trainers are off duty. So I'm working out, I scan that code, you in the back end have already programmed that code Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. That code is going to scan to a destination that allows you to select a personal trainer and book an appointment. If I were working out on the weekends and your trainers are off duty, that code has now been set to actually link to a training video to offer an alternative service rather than kind of a dead end location. So really great automation tool there. Next is bulk creation. So Maria mentioned her employees are creating up to 40, up to 50 codes at a time. So really great feature here in terms of automating that production rather than going one by one and creating 40 flow codes. You can actually download a template directly in the platform, name your codes, drop in the URLs, and as long as you want the same branded design, our generator will kind of produce up to 50 codes with the pro plan. And again, this is great. We keep talking about marketing attribution, A/B testing, but also just scaling your codes, really a great time saver and a way to measure effectiveness in your marketing. And last but not least, of course, my favorite feature is the data and analytics. So we offer custom reporting so you can better understand what is really driving your consumer interactions in that offline world. Christy really did a great job of kind of walking you through, all the types of information that we collect. Again, no PII, just day and time of scan, connection by device type, and flow page clicks and interactions. So if you're on your flow page and you're featuring all these links, you actually have insight into which links are actually the top clicked and interacted, as well as your click-through rate. And again, comparative analytics. So again, measuring, what creative works well, what offers are working well, which marketing channel, if you're sending your users to your Instagram or your Facebook, what works best, and of course, media placement. So if you're, investing in an out-of-home ad versus, a newspaper ad or any type of collateral, really, really great way to get deeper insight into your marketing. And so if you guys want to go ahead, you can actually scan this flow code and see a sample report. It's an enterprise level report, but really great way to see all of the neat, unique ways you could see the data and analytics come together. And I'll pass it over to Corinne, who's going to walk through just the last few kind of features that we offer.
Thanks, Georgette. Yeah, so just a visual of what the Pro plan also includes. Unlimited scans. So our free code gives you access to 5, or free plan gives you access to 5 codes. But with our Pro account, you gain access to 100 codes, which also allows for unlimited scans. We don't cut you off based on how many scans you get. This also gives you the freedom to test unique codes, like we've been talking about marketing attribution, just being able to track the effectiveness and be able to focus your budgets more specifically for which ads seem most effective. You get 1 custom code. So every Pro account gets something specifically designed by our design team. You can include your hex colors, your logo. We really maximize the amount of space that your logo takes up in it as well, compared to our generator. And custom codes are proven to encourage more engagement, and our designers follow all of your brand guidelines, which I mentioned before. So your code can really look unique to your brand. And as you saw with Maria's and Essen Healthcare's design, you can really tweak it as much as you want. You can edit the data points, the call to action around the rims. Our designers do a beautiful job of creating these codes and can really, again, design it to your brand standards. In addition, you get 10 flow pages, and Georgette spoke a little bit about those before, but flow pages are basically customizable mobile first landing pages. So you can use it to store anything from links to contact information and collection and more. So you can have up to 10 of these. And a great Pro feature is that you can edit it a little bit more than your custom or than your free accounts or your basic accounts. And you can create these unique for each businesses or location. So let's say you have one in the Bronx and then you have one in Harlem. You can have different flow pages to showcase different times that they're open, or like Maria was talking about with holidays. Maybe one location's open for MLK Day and one location isn't. So having those separate flow pages would be really helpful when scanning to those destinations. And then one of the great things about Pro is the support that you get. So we offer one-to-one support to ensure that you and your business succeed with Flowcode and Flowpage. We are here to help you. You have our emails, and you also have the ability to book one-to-one demos with us. So that's where we get on a call with you. We really help understand what you're using Flowcode for, how you can leverage it, and troubleshoot any issues that you might have. So if you're having trouble navigating the Flowcode dashboard or want to learn more about Flowpage and how you can really customize it a bit more, we will hop on a call and help you right then and there. We can share screens with you. We can see where you might be going wrong or where you might be having problems. And again, we'll follow up after this demo or after this webinar and give you our Calendly link so you can schedule your one-to-one demo with us. And as a thank you for staying to the end, we wanted to offer you 1 free month of Flowcode Pro with our annual plan. So if you scan this Flowcode right here on the left-hand side, it'll bring you to our plans page where you can see a little bit more about each plan and what it offers. And then if you decide to upgrade, you can use the code wellness1mo or 1 month during checkout, which will apply the discount.
And we'll follow up in the follow-up email. We'll also send this in case you don't have time to scan it now.
Exactly. And I'll kick it over to Georgette to talk a little bit about our community.
Awesome. And to end it all, again, thank you all for sticking to the end. We'd love to stay connected outside of this webinar. So if you use Facebook, would love if you guys could go ahead and join our creator community on Facebook. We just actually got started a few weeks ago, so we'd love to build it out and hear from you all, hear some ideas, and drop in any questions or any issues you have. Corinne, Christy, and I all monitor that actively, so we'd love to have you all as part of our community. And I think that leads us to our Q&A.
It sure does. And we do have a couple different questions here. So I will get right to it. The first question being, how can we, being overseas, place an order for stickers? We tried last time and we're not able to establish the order. Please advise and thank you. One, that's great. A great way to bring up our print store. We do have a print as well as a template store where you can put your code on a sticker, a table tent, posters, things like that, floor stickers, and get them printed and sent right to your house so you can start using them. To answer this question specifically, right now our printer is only domestic and we do not have them overseas. That being said, we are looking to expand this. Until then, obviously you can download your codes into a template or just the code by itself and use a local printer. And then hopefully in the near future, we'll have some international printing solutions for you. I actually know this creator. I know you're in Australia, so I'll put that at the top of my list. Second questions, any new features coming? Yes, there are. If you are someone who gets our newsletter, you'll see in the newsletter this month and next month, we will list out some of the features that are coming out, but we are actually doing a huge revamp to our advanced analytics for Pro. You'll be able to download reports and you'll also be able to visualize your analytics in ways that you can't do right now. We're also going to update the generator. So outside of just being able to put in your logo in different colors, you can actually put a call to action around the rim, which will be super exciting. And then as it pertains to Flowpage, we're bulking up our CRM and contact collection widget so that you'll be able to put in custom terms and conditions if your brand requires that someone has to accept that before they put in their information or things like that. We're going to have additional design options for Flowpage. A lot going on, a lot happening. Most of what I just said, hopefully before the end of Q1. And then as mentioned, if you read our newsletter, we'll keep you posted on other features that will be coming up. Is there any flexibility with the shape of the flow code? Can I request different shapes, like a square, for instance? This is a great question. It comes up all the time. Yes, as mentioned before, and as some of the codes that you saw earlier for our pro customers, if you have a pro account and you request your custom code that you get with that account, you can request a different shape. A square is one of them, a paw print. I know that we had shared with Maria some other shapes for her when she first requested her custom code. They can have a lot of fun with it. That being said, down the line, there are talks about hopefully being able to offer a square in the generator. But right now, we do pride ourselves at Flowcode for the circular shape. It also has proven to be one of the most scannable codes out there. So we do definitely encourage people to stick with the circular design. Let's see what else we have here. How can I collect customer data outside of what's already collected through Flowcode? Georgette, you already kind of touched on this, but do you want to touch on this one more time?
Yeah, absolutely. So like we mentioned, no personally identifiable information at the time of scan. What we do collect when the user scans, again, time of day, device type, day of the week, a bit basic in terms of analytics. So should you want anything more robust, that's where FlowPage comes in. That's where adding that CRM widget is super valuable for you to get any information from you can add demographic information, age, gender, name, email, and that's a really great and surefire way to do so. So definitely, that's kind of what we always like to say as a workaround. Oh, and it looks like we have another. Awesome. Oh, it looks like we've got a head of marketing for a fitness studio. Awesome. We love to see it, and definitely useful for your clients. We also have some fitness centers that are starting to put them on the actual machines. And I'm wishing that my fitness center puts it on the machines, because sometimes I get on those. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. So absolutely love it. And we have your information, and we will be in touch.
For sure. I'll save that now.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, we're literally right against time right now. So I'll give it another minute, but in the meantime, I just want to thank our creator, Maria Osceola, once again for joining us and just telling us all about the ways that you're using Flowcode and how it's helped your business. It's really exciting to hear. So we do appreciate your time and everyone's time today for joining us. Like we said, we will send a follow-up email to everyone. We'll have the recording for this for anyone who maybe missed the beginning or possibly the end. We'll also have just links to our calendars for one-on-one demos if you want it, the link to the 1 free month for Flowcode Pro, as well as information on our community. And if you have any other questions, you can reach us there. But otherwise, thank you again, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.